Hello, dear ones. Prema here. This full moon is a reckoning point. If you have felt torn between holding things together and breaking free, or if you've been overextending to keep things aligned for everyone else, this moon is your moment to reclaim your energy and your clarity. We have been in a cycle of full moons that have really brought a lot of endings over the last few months, and we've just started to move out of that in April, and this full moon brings us out of that. We're after all the eclipses. Jupiter's about to shift to Gemini. The nodes of the moon are about to shift. Very much of a time where our path is not only shifting in an inward way, but we're starting to see the new choices that it's time to make. And this full moon helps us to really step into a threshold where clarity of purpose and strength of our willpower, our courage will really shape our next steps, shape our next evolution. And for conscious leaders, this moon isn't just about manifesting success. It's about really aligning your soul work with your highest value gifts and letting go of whatever no longer reflects who you're becoming, that part of you that's been in this evolutionary tension. And the more we can realize, oh, we are evolving, we are becoming, and allowing ourselves to start to live into that instead of being dissatisfied that things haven't fully come together yet, whether in your business, your creative work, or in your leadership. This really isn't about moving from a place of chasing after outcomes or chasing after anything, really. It's really about leading from truth. I will share everything about the full moon with you, including some soul wisdom questions at the end, which you can journal on, tune in, get your intuitive guidance on. So this full moon is on May 12th at 28 degrees of Libra in Vedic astrology. This is the sidereal zodiac, and it's in Vishakha Nakshatra. And this is all about amplifying our sovereignty, our confidence, and very much of our inner fire. Libra and Aries, these two signs are across from each other in the zodiac. The sun is currently exalted in Aries, in our place of independence and freedom, and the full moon will be in Libra, reflecting that light of the sun. And this is really this dynamic between the space between ourself and others. It's a very relational kind of an energy. So with the sun exalted, our independence and our inner fire is lit up and really ready to rise. And Mercury just moved into Aries as well, so our clarity is coming in. You can hear about all the May transits in the May forecast video. And Libra asks us, how are our relationships? How are our agreements? And what roles are shaping the way we move forward? What's our identity? What role are we playing? What roles are we playing into or asking others to play? So this Vishakha energy is also defined by the forked path. And it's represented by a lightning bolt and that lightning bolt is really like clarity and kind of this cosmic checkpoint. Are you aligned with your true aim, or are you caught in some loop of identity or pursuit of something that maybe fit you at one point in time but doesn't fit anymore? Vishakha is the only nakshatra with two deities. So Indra is one of them, and Agni is the other. And Indra is the king of the gods, and that is our strength, our leadership. This is more of a masculine energy. And Agni is the fire of transformation, of sacrifice, of devotion. It's a bit more feminine. And together, they're very fierce liberators, and they can really cut right through illusion and the blocks that we're carrying. So this Vishakha Nakshatra is also ruled by Jupiter. And Jupiter, of course, is our great teacher, as well as the sage and the visionary. And Jupiter's about to move into Gemini for the next year. Big transit. I'll be doing a teaching on that soon. And I do talk about it in the May update. So with the symbol of the Jupiter. Jupiter is all about our wisdom, our purpose, our expansion. And that's what Jupiter's calling us to. So each nakshatra has a planet that actually rules it. So that draws in another energy, even though Libra is ruled by Venus. And Venus is currently exalted in Pisces. It's been there since February. It is going to move by the end of the month into Aries, and it's been with the eclipses. It's not lined up exactly with Rahu anymore, and it's getting free of that chaotic energy. So there is an underlying energy also with this full moon of creativity and beauty and your artistry, whatever that is for you. So you could really have some creative breakthroughs around this full moon. So I encourage you to open up to your creativity, or however you want to bring beauty into this world, into your environments, whether that's the way you adorn yourself, or, for me right now, it's the garden, and I've just brought my first roses in from the garden. And so that bringing that beauty in is very nourishing, but also you could really have some beautiful creative downloads that happen during this time. So the lightning bolt represents the sudden insights, the breakthroughs, and decisive action, like time to move forward. And this moon's medicine is clarity and alignment that really asks us, are we pursuing what's truly aligned with our highest value gifts, our sacred wealth code? And if you don't have your sacred wealth code, you can get a sacred wealth code reading. The link is with the description, but you could also take the Sacred Wealth Code quiz and get one of your Sacred Wealth Code archetypes and a cool training on that. That's free. The link is down below for that. So if you have also been overgiving or overextending or compromising your deeper truth, where have you been doing that? Where have you been doing that? Just notice that. What relationships, which roles or agreements maybe have served their purpose in the past and now need to be lovingly released, or at least evolved to something that's more in alignment. But there are relationships that may need to be released, and the key is to do it lovingly, to do it from your heart, do it from a place of love and openness. If we could always set each other free, even in a committed relationship, that brings a lot more breadth and authenticity and connection, actually. So Vishakha's fire isn't about pushing harder. It's really about burning things away and burning away what's false, so that your next creation is pure and it's powerful. So it's this purification kind of a fire. In your business, in your soul work, this could mean refining your offers. It could mean stepping out of outdated collaborations, or recommitting or reevaluating your agreements and your commitments to really the core vision from a place of soul-aligned authority. What is that core vision that you're holding for yourself in your soul work, in your business, in your leadership? And we want to realign with that. And look, relationships are part of this existence. I mean, we are in relationship at every level, and it's a beautiful thing. But there's this equanimity within relationships, or there's not. And the people pleaser, which is the shadow side of the connector. I'm looking for my connector card in front of me here. Oh, there it is. So that's the shadow side of the connector, one of the shadow sides. And also the overgiver, which is the shadow side of the great nurturer. Which is the moon. These are some of the patterns that we'll see coming up in around this. So this is exactly what we'll be working on in the full moon healing circle. We'll release the pressure to keep the peace at all costs of your truth. This is something really to be aware of. In fact, in Sacred Wealth Mastery, in our group call this week, because somebody brought forward, we took a few minutes and did a clearing on this exact subject of being able to speak our truth, and where we hold that back and what part of us holds that back. So we cleared the energy around that so that we could step more into just our authenticity and our truth, and be courageous enough to give ourselves what we need to support ourselves in order to step into that truth. Because we've all been hurt in some ways for expressing our truth. So this is a time of clearing the energetic clutter that's blocking your next evolution and, activating Vishakha's fire to move forward, aligned, confident, and purposeful. So if you would like to work with this energy and do some deep clearing around it and activation of your power, then I'd invite you to join me for the full moon healing circle. The link is with the description. I teach one every month. It's $27 and would love to have you in the full moon healing circle. We do have some other transits going on. Like I said, the sun is in Aries. It's exalted. It's strong. It'll be there until mid-month, and it's really amplifying our sovereignty. Venus, we already talked about in Pisces. Mercury just moved into Aries, bringing more clarity. Jupiter's about to go into Gemini. Lots to say about that. Watch the May update if you haven't already, and I go deep into all the transits, and the notes of the moon will shift at the end of the month, and I'll be bringing more information about all of that. If you would like a reading with me to really go into all the transits for you and what's coming up for you this year, and whatever crossroads you happen to be at right now, then the link down below is for my personal readings. Let's get into our journaling prompts. So I invite you just to take a moment, take a deep breath. The prompt will come up on your screen as well. Feel free to pause this anytime you need to so that you can take as much time with these questions. And I invite you to really just drop into your heart. Let the question land in your heart, breathe into your heart, and notice what comes up for you, what floats up for you, not trying to figure it out and pull it down from your head. You'll get a lot of transformation out of this, some really good information for you to have if you'll sit with these questions. So our first question is, where have you been holding on out of habit or fear rather than true alignment? Where have you been holding on, or what have you been holding on to out of fear rather than true alignment? What's asking to be released so that your next vision can take root and really flourish? What's asking to be released so your next vision can take root and really flourish? Where are you compromising your truth to keep things smooth on the surface? And what would change if you chose clarity and alignment instead? Where are you compromising your truth to keep things smooth on the surface? And what would change if you chose clarity and alignment instead? And the last one. What part of your leadership or business needs a course correction to reflect your highest value gifts right now? Your highest value gifts, your divine gifts. What part of your leadership or your business needs to course correct? Needs a course correction to reflect your highest value gifts. So take whatever time you need with those questions. I'd love to hear any of your responses to that. So leave me a comment about that. And I want to remind you that this full moon is your invitation to lead. It's not a time to go after anything, to chase anything, or to uphold something that's outdated for you, but to lead from your deepest truth, from your aligned power, and to really choose your next path. When you release the weight of misaligned commitments, and that includes agreements and relationships, you reclaim your energy and really open space for, your soul-led success that feels more spacious, that feels expansive, that's exciting, that pulls you forward because it's on purpose. I've seen this play out with many clients, and like one conscious entrepreneur that I work with who was stuck in a high-profile collaboration with, no longer being really aligned with her deeper purpose, and under a similar influence with a Libra full moon here, she made really a bold decision to step back, refine her focus, and realign with her business model. And this means that she did choose to realign some agreements that she had about some collaborations that she was doing. It just had outgrown them. They'd expired. But within a few months, her prosperity, her fulfillment really skyrocketed because her energy was finally moving in the right direction. She wasn't holding herself back with old obligations. So we need an upgrade sometimes. Your leadership, your wealth, your vision all thrive when you are aligned. So I thank you so much for being here. Leave me a comment. I answer all of them. I want to know what's come up for you, what's happening for you on this full moon, the soul wisdom questions. Join me in the full moon healing circle. I'd love to do a reading for you. All the links to everything are below. And I look forward to seeing you next time.